Before I continue with the rest of this teardown, I think it's very important to let you guys know how it is I got here and why I have this engine pulled out in the first place. Just like a lot of you, I wanted to go over and modify my car just a little bit, but a little bit ended up turning into a lot of it. Starting with the intake, then moving into the exhaust, then moving into the radiator, and then the turbo, and then intercooler, and then the tune, and then everything just kept rolling on from there. But where I think my issue really came from, it's from the tune. These engines are not as forgiving as our B-series predecessors that we had in the past. They're direct injected, loaded up with a low pressure and high pressure fuel pump all at the same time. Being that this is a direct injection engine, the air fuel mixtures are a lot less forgiving. Too much air, engine gets too hot. Too much fuel, you get the idea. Unfortunately, one of the more common issues that happen with these engines are the head gasket. Let me show you. I've seen a lot of blown Type R head gaskets, but none as bad as this one. I truly sent this thing to heaven. As you can see, the Mylar films in between each cylinders are completely burnt out, and that's all it takes. Micro breaches such as that one will always show up very subtly. You'll go ahead and get a misfire in cylinders 3, 4, 2, or 1. It doesn't matter. It always starts with a slow misfire, and it's never consistent. But just like any engine mishap, I use it as an excuse to go ahead and make things a whole lot better. I pulled the cylinder head off to go ahead and get a whole bunch of work done to it. I went over and put brass valve guides, replaced it with Ferrea valves, then went over and did a whole bunch of other work, such as getting this thing sent out to get ported. The person I chose to go ahead and do it was John over at FK8TD. Great guy, does a lot of his own work. If you guys haven't checked him out, go ahead and check him out. So when I put everything back together, I went over and put a bigger turbo, bigger everything all the way around. And I also went over and decided to go ahead and use a JE Pro Seal head gasket along with Inline Pro head studs. Now, moving along further in this story, what ended up happening was before I even got to the tuner, I had another breach issue where I was getting gases leaking into my cooling system. And that's what brings us over here to this point. As soon as I went over and brought it to John to go ahead and tune this car, he immediately pointed out that there was an issue with the car and he did not want to continue with anything else because it was not acting the way it should. But by the grace of God, I was able to drive this car all the way back from South Carolina over at Myrtle Beach. And then when I brought it back up to the house, I went over and took the engine out. And a year later, here we are today. So this is what this whole journey is about. I'm gonna go over and tear this thing all the way down to go ahead and figure out why I ended up having this issue a second time. And it could be an issue of the part, could be an issue of my install, could be the head gasket, could even be the head studs. But we are going to do this together and check it out for ourselves. So what I have here is a new Type R block from 4-Piston Racing, loaded with Wiseco piston and boost line rods. So when we get further along in the build, I will not be using the stock block that came with the car that gives me the ability to go ahead and tear it all apart to show you guys what the wear looks like using 0W20 after 60,000 miles. Because I am not a fan of using water-like oil in my engine where I run pretty hard pretty frequently. If you guys made it this far in the video, please like and follow, and I'll see you in the next one.